So, guys, we got 47 people. We got 2 likes. I'm fired up. I had no idea what to expect. I said, Brittany, I could show up and no one can say anything. And then what do I do? What do I do? But that's not the case. Gabby Gonzalez, how to get out of the friend zone. Okay, I'm gonna might as well open with that one in a second. So let's jump right in. Let's just get this going. I want to try to answer as many questions as possible, and I want to be brief about it. I don't want to run on and on, just so we can get as many people in as possible that want to ask questions. So, Gabby, where was your question? How to get out of the friend zone. This guy wants to be friends, 3 months hanging out and no kissing, even spent Christmas Eve and Christmas together. Okay, so the friend zone, if you guys have, I made a video about the friend zone. I'd actually like to do a longer form video about that, because that was one of my FAQ videos that was only about 2.5, 3 minutes long. But in that video, I talk about how the friend zone really isn't a bad thing with a guy, because that means that you're on his radar, you're in his sphere, which means that you do have a level of influence with him when it comes to other types of decisions he's making in his life. If you're a friend and he genuinely wants to be your friend. Now, some guys say, oh, we should just be friends, and they don't mean anything by it. They just kind of want to scrape you off and whatever. But in Gabby's situation, you're saying that this guy, you're spending Christmas Eve and Christmas Day with him. I mean, that's a friend. Those are people, he probably genuinely wants you as a friend. So, I would just say, if you can be comfortable being there first, being okay in that space, because as soon as you tell yourself, you know what, I'm okay with this, all of a sudden, all of these other things are going to fall into line. You're going to stop over analyzing, which I think men and women alike, we all do this when we're got a crush on somebody, we're really into somebody. And what happens when you look at someone and you regard someone as a friend, all of a sudden you're not thinking about your next move with that person. You are, it's kind of in the background, but it's a little different because, you're just present. You're just present in the moment with them. So I would say take advantage of the friend zone by being yourself, being cool, calm, and collected in the moment with him, and just really let those qualities that are you, just really let those come out naturally when you're around him. And what's going to happen is there might be an opportunity there for a conversion to happen where something shifts. And this happened with my wife and I. We started as friends first, and then we were business partners. And there was one day when we just we got coffee together and we just started looking at each other differently. It's just that look. And all of a sudden the topics of conversation were changing to a little bit deeper stuff. We're talking about family and just things that we had in common. I was just like, who are you? Like, this is great. And I saw her as a friend, but all of a sudden, almost overnight, things were changing into more of a romantic capacity. So I hope that answers your question. If someone else asked something about friend zone that I didn't hit on, that's all I have for right now. So Gabby, thank you for asking that. Linda says I'm blurry right now. Let's see if I can change that. Jan Isaacs, I'm so glad you're doing a live. Newly dated someone and your videos are helping me not F it all up. That's awesome. I'm glad you found the channel. Was it Jan, right? Jan Isaacs. Jan, thank you so much for being on live. I'm just happy people showed up to have a conversation with me tonight, because this is great. So Melissa, I'm just going to skip around. Hey, Spooky, I see you. How are you, Spooky? Good to have you on. Melissa Boss, he asked for space. and I get this emoji. He asks for space. Have you guys been hanging out for a while? Anytime a guy asks for space, we got to hit the pause button, because there are times when guys, they really should just hit the pause button, but they don't need to tell you that they're going to hit the pause button. They just need to go for a walk, and they need to go off and do their own thing and put themselves in check, as opposed to coming to you and like making it a thing. Now it's a thing with you. Now I need some space. So you know what? Let the guy have his space. He needs space if it's, if you guys have only been dating for a little bit. So you got 3 days. I'm willing to wait 3. If you're willing to wait 3 days, with everyone, it's going to be different. But if you've been dating someone for a few weeks and like, yeah, I need some space, you got 72 hours. You let me know what you want to do at that point. And if it goes longer than that, I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm not sure where I'm going to be. So, and if it's a marriage or something like that, then there's other things at play. You probably want to give them more time. You might even consider marriage counseling and things like that, just really to get at the heart of what's going on. So, I need space. Oh gosh, thank goodness I never used that line. Out of all the lines in my younger days, I don't think I've ever used that one, just because it's so corny and cheesy. So sorry that's happening, Melissa. Yeah, just you give him some space, and you go figure out what your next move is going to be. You'll probably meet a really nice guy in the midst of all of that. Gabby, thanks. That's kind of where I am. Cool. Thank you so much. Spooky is, I love it. Spooky, you're awesome. Spooky, if you guys haven't seen Spooky's comments, Spooky's been in almost every thread that I can think of. I look and there she is, and she's always helping out in the community. She's always really got good advice too. And she's just been really helpful. So if you see her, hey, Spooky, if you see her, say hello to her. She's great. And let's see here. Okay, okay, Christy says, if a coworker is always finding ways to touch you, could he be just a touchy person or something else? All right, so first of all, this gentleman, this coworker, if he's a little handsy at the workplace, he might be getting a knock from HR on his door or her door, or whoever this person might be. If you're in the workplace, you're there to work. You're there to make your money. So I want to address this question, but I'm gonna add a little caveat to it, which is more of my greater philosophy on getting involved with people at the workplace. Even if you did like said coworker and were interested in them, it's a really, really bad idea. I don't care what anybody says. No one's going to be able to change my mind on this, because I've just seen this so frequently. So if a person is touching you, first of all, if it's unwanted, you need to make that known. I think the most professional avenue for that would be to go straight to HR. Don't even bring it up with him. Don't even tell anybody. Just go to HR and just be like, look, I have a problem. If you look at this person as a friend and you have a bit of a rapport with them, you might just be like, I'm sorry, I'm really not comfortable with this type of interaction. Perhaps personal space you can respect, because just don't touch me at work. He could just be a touchy person or something else. In one of my videos, I do talk about when guys do touch you, that means that they do feel comfortable with you. But again, just looking at, is he interested or is he just being nice? You really have to pair that with other behaviors, other things that are happening. You can't just single it out as a one-off. Oh, he likes me. It's got to be, what is he saying to you? What is his eye contact like? Is he nervous? Is he fidgety? Is he airing out his shirt? Is he what else is happening there? So yeah, I would just say work. Just you're probably not like inviting that type of behavior as well. You're kind of, I don't know, in a workplace, you're kind of cornered, right? You're there to make money and you have to be there. So yeah, just be careful with that. Just, I think, over communicate, whether it's to him or her or HR, over communicate. Let's see. Okay, Miss Anthropy. Let me see here. Do I have to scroll? Oh, here we go. Sorry, guys. Just getting used to the platform on the live front here. Okay, Misanthropy, what to do when you've given up and you don't believe in love anymore? I'm tired of not texting first, 30-day, no contact. None of it works with the guys I like. They don't care. All right, well, so here's the thing. Why is it that you like them? Why is it that group? Is it because they're not giving you any attention? Is it, okay, this isn't working on them? Almost. So what it sounds to me like, and I could be wrong, again, I'm just going off of what you've written, so there's not too much context there. But, when you're saying, I'm tired of not texting first, 30-day no contact. Okay, so 30-day no contact, that is a straight up game, and that does not work. I have a video specifically about 30-day no contact and why it's a terrible philosophy. Once you break up with someone, for those of you who don't know, there's this thing called no contact, and you're not supposed to contact your ex for 30 days. In some magical way, this person is going to come back to you because they haven't heard from you because you haven't contacted them. And really what the 30-day no contact rule is doing is delaying your healing process by precisely 30 days. So, Misanthropy, I would just say, if you can pull back the scope and really look at why it is these guys that you're into, and why these, I don't know, I look at 30-day no contact as like a tactic, right? It's a game. It's I'm gaming you. I'm not going to contact you, and then you're going to text me. You're going to get back to me. You're going to tell me you love me, and we're going to be happily ever after. And it's just, what you really need to do is maybe take a break with guys. This sounds like one of those inflection points because you're talking about giving up. You don't believe in love anymore. Whew, just put that on the back burner. Just take a beat. Focus on you. Get into some like hobbies and passions that really get you like sizzling and get you just like really excited to wake up in the morning and get things done. It's really hard to do that. And I've definitely been there before when I was younger and I was doing eHarmony and going on 148 dates in 1 year, like I've mentioned with you guys. And it's exhausting. It is exhausting, especially when you're meeting a whole bunch of duds who just aren't bringing you a fulfilling experience. And, they're expecting you to do everything, and it's not really reciprocal. So, I would just say fall back on the other things that you love and just invest 100% into them. And I just find when I do that for myself, that's when the good stuff happens. That's when, for example, I had a friend that I had to cut out of my life. And as soon as I made that decision in my mind, and then I kind of made peace with it and said, okay, this is done. That's when I met my wife. So it's like when you cut off the things that aren't working, whether it be a guy that you're dating and it's just not clicking, or it's the same type of guy over and over and over again, and you're just not clicking. Things are not working. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, and you're just getting the same result. So it's just time to stop the brakes on and just to start focusing on you, on number one. Let's see, Miss M. So happy to see you live, new subscriber. Thank you so much. Your video is the best. Appreciate your great work and insight. Thank you for being on the channel. Esther Flores, he expects me to pay for everything. Next. No. Why is that? Does he not have a job? Are you supporting him? Has it just become a thing where you guys had a deal where you would help him for a little bit until he got on his feet and then something was supposed to change? Again, I don't have a lot of context for this particular situation, but I'm a traditional, in the traditional sense of, I want to, when I was dating, and now that I'm married, I want to pay for everything. That's just me. That's just, I don't know if it's because I'm a guy. I don't know. That's just who I am. That's me. But he's expecting, hopefully you're getting something sweet out of the deal. If you're paying for everything, this guy better be funny. Oh my God, he better be so handsome, because otherwise, no, we just can't do that. It might be time to really examine what he's bringing to the table, and if money, what you're contributing financially isn't really, if he's not doing the trick, it might be time to move on. So thank you for that, Esther. Alexa Croft, touchy coworker likes you. Whoa, I just skipped a whole bunch. Oh, there's a lot more. As soon as you move the mouse, a whole bunch of more comments comes up. Excellent. Okay. Judy Freach. I'm going to screw this up. Freach. Judy Freach. I hope I said that right, Judy. How do I learn to trust again after my husband of 27 years left me for his online girlfriend? I trusted him 100%. All right, first off, let me just say I'm really sorry to hear about that situation. Why is he online? What was that? What is he doing? And how long was that behavior going on for? I can understand why you wouldn't trust again. I mean, man, sometimes, and now that I've been married for a while, I really have grown to appreciate a lot of the little things that I never even used to look at when I was just just dating, or, and when you have a connection with your partner and you really feel on the same level with them, there is this inherent trust that has to exist. Otherwise, it doesn't work. You might as well be alone. And the reason we choose to be with someone is because we want to share space, and we want to have someone to come home to. And when there's a breach of trust on that level, it's unforgivable. It will piss you off. It will make you angry, and it should. There's no reason for him to have done that to you. This isn't your fault. Relationships, that's a 50-50 thing, baby. I mean, I'm just saying, if he had issues with the relationship, he should have been man enough or big enough to come to you and talk to you about them. Now, maybe he tried, maybe he had his way, but he took the chicken way out and didn't want to tell you about anything and just see what he can get away with and try to line something else up while you're married to him. Scumbag. It's just terrible. I will come down, and I've gotten comments about this too. I can come down hard on men, and people are like, why are you busting on men this level? And I think it has to do with that, I am my own harsh, worst critic. So when I translate that to the things that we talk about, it can kind of sound like that. But guys screw up. Guys screw up really bad. I screwed up a lot as a younger person. And when I just hear these things, it just, what can I say? 27 years is a long time. And I don't want to say anything that's trite or anything that's like, oh, that's sweet. It's I don't know how long ago this happened, but I would just say that, you know, this happened in order to allow space for something else that you deserve that's fantastic to step in. I think that's the best way that I can put this, is that now that there's a void, that we'll just call it a void, and void has a negative connotation. I realize that. But now that this person who was dominating all of your space and all of your time, and because you were married, all of your love to a certain extent, now that that's gone, if you can just hold stillness and you can just be okay with the fact that people royally make mistakes and screw up, and forgive, and you can forgive from a distance. This isn't something you have to do over the phone with them. You just forgive in your heart and you just let it go. I think you'll find that over time, when you fully heal, that you're going to be meeting not just men, you're going to be meeting much higher quality people with bigger hearts, because you've let that light in and you've let that healing come into you. Now that you've done that for yourself and you've experienced that, you're going to start meeting all of these people around you that have done the same for themselves. And that's when I feel, if you can get there and just be okay with it taking time to do that, it's going to be an amazing thing. And I've experienced that firsthand. And if you can get there, it's worth it. It's worth it. So thank you so much for sharing that. Let's see. And L says, HR here will always ask you if you told them to stop. This is about the touchy coworker. We have to let the other person know we don't like that before we report them. Well, that would be good. Again, great communication all around. Okay, CT, how do you suggest dealing with someone that is still pushy to go on dinner dates even after they've been friend zoned? Literally got an unwanted text invite while watching this. How do you just dealing with someone that is still pushy to go on dinner dates even after so you friend zone them and they're not getting it? Oh, well, if they're still, and you're using the word pushy, which means this is just like unwanted communication. You didn't actually want to be friends with them. Pardon me. Depending on how long that goes on for and how pushy and how annoying it gets, you might just have to kindly send a text just saying, hey, I really thought a friendship could be possible here. I'm just really not sure if that's going to work out. I still don't know you very well. I wouldn't necessarily call out like, oh, you're texting me all the time. You don't need to do that. But just say, I'm going to be really busy the next couple weeks. I'll let you know if something comes up where we can hang out. And then that's it. And if he keeps going, just block him. Block. You're done. No need for any of that pushy stuff. Let's see, guys. So, or 83. Oh, this is so fun. This is a lot more fun. I was so scared. It was like, there was somebody that made a comment 2 days ago, and they were like, Ryan, I really love your videos. I wish that you wouldn't do so many cuts, and so it's so choppy. I wish you would just like let it flow. And it's like, I don't think I've mentioned this in any of my videos, but I put a lot of work into my videos, and I know pretty much exactly what I'm going to say. So if I just let it flow, man, I don't even know if I could string a sentence together. But hopefully this is going pretty well. It feels good. Hopefully you guys are having a good time as well. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, this is hasn't called. Okay. Aditi, where did you go here? Hello. Okay, Miss M. Miss M, question. I met this man 1 month ago and are having an amazing start together, aligned and clear in what we want. We both have exes that we recently broke up with, but knowing that wasn't what we wanted. Not sure where that was going. Oh, do you think there should be a fair limit for us both to cut contact and totally move on from our exes? Okay, I'm glad I saw that. I'm like, oh my god, that's not a complete question. uh, so here's the thing, guys. When it comes to uh, you guys are getting into a new relationship, but you're fresh out of old relationships. So you both have the looming ex, to a certain degree. You know, like, this is tough, and this is a really good question because uh, a fair limit for both of us to cut contact. Yes, I really think that you guys shouldn't put labels on this. I really don't think you guys should be exclusive. And I really don't think you guys should even date much for like a couple months. Because regardless of who broke up with whom, there's still going to be pain there. Even as the person breaking up, people like myself who had had their heart broken, I can see why, for example, my ex was going through pain because she did care about me, and I knew it was hard for her to do that, to hurt me. So there's still going to be pain there, and what happens is if you don't address that and you don't let yourself fully heal, you run the risk of either the guy is going to be your rebound or you're going to be his rebound. And I've been in these situations before, and they feel amazing. They feel amazing because you're like, yes, I've got someone who understands what I'm going through because it just happened to them, and now I really think they care about me, and they're spending so much time with me, and they make me feel so good. But the problem with those things is that they are hurting too, and you're not actually getting who they really are. You're getting almost the broken, shattered version of them, and they're gonna be, trying to psychologically put themselves together, put all the pieces together so they can smile and they can be present, but they are broken and they're hurting. So to answer your question, I would just say, if you can just give it a couple months and don't have anything committal, like you guys can go date other people and you just got to do you. I mean, I don't want to speak for them. I'd rather, because you're here, you've been on the channel. I would just say for you, Miss M, that just take a little time off, take a beat, you know, uh, go take a class in something, have some fun, just get your mind off of relationships for a while, because relationships, I mean, they can take a lot of work depending on what's going on in your life, what's going on in their life. So yeah, just maybe take a minute to date me. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. There's a lot of great questions, guys. Thank you so much for everyone chiming in here. Um, let's see here. Anna L. Hi, Ryan. So a man that wants to date me is still married, but is seeking a divorce. I say it's not proper to date yet, but he says he feels single. What do you think? Okay, so he's separated. Uh yeah, I'm with you on this one, Anna. I don't think it's proper. I wouldn't get involved with a married woman who hasn't finalized anything. There are people that date people while they're separated. He's probably done with the relationship, and good for him for, making things final and communicating and getting divorced. But yeah, I would just stick to your guns on that and just say, hey, I'm going to wait until, the dotted line is signed and, you're free and clear. But even after that, like we just talked in the previous question we were going over, still going to be that period, right? There's still going to be that period of, hey, I need some time. I don't want to rush into anything. And I'm surprised that he actually wants to rush into something else after getting out of a divorce. Most people, when they get divorced, they want to enjoy being single. So, maybe he just wants to have fun and fool around and all that. And that's most likely the case. But yeah, I just keep looking for, single available guys that seem normal and aren't acting weird and seem to have their stuff together. So, let's see. Okay, Helga. Hey, Helga. How are you? I recognize you from the comments on the videos. So cool. How can you tell if a guy really wants to be with you but goes MIA a lot, and how do you get him to trust you? Well, okay, this is one of those ones that doesn't really have much context, but I'm assuming that you guys, maybe things are hot and heavy, and then all of a sudden he'll just drop out, and you won't hear from him for a couple of weeks. So my video on Monday about breadcrumbing and love bombing, and this one's for you, Helga. Hopefully you'll catch next Monday, because I really go into detail about this in that video. But basically what we want to avoid here, guys, is we want to avoid those hot, cold guys. We want to avoid the, oh my God, I love you so much, you're the best. And then where'd he go? Where did he go? It's too much over here. The pendulum is swinging. Actually, it's more like this. It's swinging too far in two extreme directions. You want the guy who can oscillate a little bit down here. If he's going MIA a lot, clearly he really doesn't want to be with you. I mean, if he was MIA, that should tell you that he's not committed. He doesn't get you yet. He doesn't see how you fit into his life, or he's distracted by 1, 2, or more other women, and he's just running the gamut and he's just having a good time. So in order to get him to trust you, clearly you're going to need more FaceTime with him. But I don't know if he's really worth your trust if he's giving you that hot coldness, because that to me is kind of like he's not even in the ballpark yet. Okay, so if I'm hearing hot and cold, I'm like, we got to raise the bar higher. That's the first qualification right there. Is he hot and cold? He's not even hitting the bar yet. So you want a guy who's going to consistently set up dates with you. He's on the level with you. Those are the guys that you should be looking at. How can I strengthen my rapport with him? How can I, boost my bond with him and get things heading in the trajectory where we both can come to the conclusion that we want to have a conversation about being exclusive together. So yeah, I'd be careful with this guy. If he's disappearing, he's not serious. He's just not serious. Let's see. Spooky, thanks Ryan and everyone in the chat. I'm so happy to see your channel growing. The live chat was great. Gotta go. See you in the future. Spooky, thank you so much. And guys, thank you so much. We're gonna go a little bit longer here, but I just wanted to take a moment, and the growth has been amazing with this channel. I had 1,000 subscribers December 1st, and it is now January 22nd. So a little over a month and a half beyond that, and I'm almost at 28 1,000 subscribers. So, doing these live chats, doing these videos, it doesn't work without you guys asking, the questions and some tough questions. I can tell just looking through here, you guys are going through real things. And, hopefully my whole goal with this channel is just on a broader scale. That's why I started the YouTube channel versus doing one-on-one consultations, is that, we just want to start gradually chipping away at the pain. We want to start gradually chipping away at the things that are holding you back from just being who you already are. And, if there's a moment of like forgetfulness and we just forget who we are, that's what I'm kind of hoping this channel can be an extension of and a reminder of. And, so I just want to thank you guys for being here. I feel like it would be great to do more of these. But with that, let's keep doing some more comments and questions here. All right. So you guys are talking to each other. This is great. I really appreciate you guys giving feedback to other people's questions if I'm not getting to them. Just got a lot of different situations here. Let's see. Oh, okay, this is a good question. Nika, Nica 0525. I haven't dated in years, and now I'm just getting out there and dating a couple men, no sex. But do I tell each of them that I'm dating other men? Nope, no need to do that, especially if you're not having sex with other men. I think, if you're, I don't know, even then, you don't owe these guys anything. You really don't. You're getting back out there at your pace. Really, this is all about you, Nika. You go out there and you date as many guys as you want and experience as many men as you want. And don't feel obligated at all to explain to new guys that I'm dating other men. No, because they're under no obligation to tell you unless things are getting more serious. And now you guys are getting closer. You find one of the guys that you like, and at some point you're gonna have that moment where it's like, it might be time to clip a couple of these other guys off because they're definitely not as good as this one right here, and I don't want to, screw this one up. I want to keep this going. This is important to me. So that's when I would say, when you start whittling down, I'm just talking about like you got like a stable of guys, which would be awesome. Good for you. But yeah, when you start whittling down to like this 3 and then the 2 and then ultimately the 1, that's when you would let guys know, I'm just being forthright. Hey, I had a really great time with you. I don't know how much further this is going to go. There's been someone else that I've been seeing, and things are getting kind of serious. So I just wanted to let you know about that. I didn't want to just disappear on you, but I just wanted to give you the heads up about that. I think that would be actually a really respectful, mature way to deal with that. And the guy would be like, oh, okay, you would be cluing him in, and he could move on, and you giving him the freedom and the space to do his thing. So that would be my recommendation for that. Catherine Couch. Yeah, Catherine Couch. I'm in a friends with benefits relationship with a good friend. He's stated he doesn't want a relationship. He likes it intimate with me and gives me affection. Is that normal? I'm confused. When there's friends with benefits, you guys are getting physical with each other, and I don't care what anybody says, the whole no strings attached. When you're having sex with someone else and you're, anything sexual, Feelings are going to come up regardless of what label you try to slap on it. We're human. This is just how it works. So, um, I think about that movie with Ashton Kutcher and Natalie Portman. I think it was No Strings Attached. Was that? Yeah, I think it was No Strings Attached. But they're like, okay, look, we're just gonna get together. We're gonna smash. We're just gonna have sex, and then something happens. I would say that he's probably feeling out like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have just called this friends with benefits, or maybe you, Catherine, labeled it like that. But he might really be liking the intimacy. I feel, and I've said this in other videos, guys can get sex anywhere. What they can't get is intimacy. And especially if you're delivering from the heart, just intimacy is that thing that just envelops you from the other person. And you can really only get that from one source. So you feel the need to keep going back to it because that's the only delivery mechanism that's going to give you that intimacy. So I might have a conversation with the friends with benefits partner and just say, hey, where's this going? Like, I just noticed that you're really affectionate and I really like that, but I thought we had laid this out because of X, Y, and Z. Just have a conversation. Again, communication goes a long way, even with NSA situations, FWB situations, just having that extra check, because most people aren't expecting that. So when you bring it up and they're like, oh, okay, I can feel comfortable to talk about this. It's amazing the types of things that come out of those types of conversations, because they'll surprise you. Right. So yeah, just maybe if you like it, if you're liking the affection and you feel you might want to step it up, might be time to have a conversation with that person. All right, guys. So we're about 45 minutes into the live. Hopefully you guys are still having a good time here. I was thinking of answering a few more questions if you guys are cool with that, and then we'll kind of wrap it up. Really good questions. Yeah, and hopefully I have an opportunity to address a lot of these either in comments of other videos. I try to answer as many comments as possible. A lot of them come in, but hopefully have at least one touch point with each of you at some point, just to get some of your questions answered. But Jen Altimos, how long is too long to be bitter toward your ex? And I, to that, would say it's never too long. I don't think there's ever a period that's too long. But what I would ask you is, how do we get Jen to a place where she's no longer bitter with her ex? What needs to happen? What happened that created that bitterness? Was it just the mere breakup and just that severing of the trust with you? Is that what's causing the bitterness, or is it something more than that? When you get into things like, the breakup happening because of cheating or things like that, it's okay to be bitter. And if you weren't bitter for a certain extent or period of time, that's almost abnormal. So just understand that this is your subconscious telling you that you're still healing, and it's going to take more time. But one thing I would just maybe suggest is burn everything, delete everything. If this guy is causing you this much, turmoil inside, leave no trace of him behind. You'll be better off, and at some point down the road, I know it probably doesn't seem like it, but time does heal all wounds, and that bitterness will evaporate because you will either find someone new and be not distracted, but you won't be thinking about this guy anymore. And he's not going to have that grip that you feel that he has, and just, and I've been in that place too, where you're just like, oh, why does this guy just consume my thoughts? Or person, why does this person consume my thoughts like all ends of the day? And it's like, especially when they did this cowardly thing of like just breaking up with me and breaking my heart. It's never too long to be bitter, but time will make that bitterness start to whittle down. So sorry about that. Sorry you're bitter, but it will get better. It will get better. I promise. All right, guys. This is so great. Hey, Victoria. I recognize Victoria M. How are you? And hopefully, yeah, I've answered some of your questions in the comments on videos. I haven't had a BF in almost 3 years. Men tell me I'm a strong woman, and they don't want that. I can't be less than who I am, but what do you do? So they're actually telling you, I can't handle a strong woman. I mean, if that's what they're saying, again, some of these questions or comments, I realize I might be reading into them to give them an angle or kind of what my mind went right to. So hopefully I'm close to that. But if they're seeing that you're a strong woman and they're basically saying they don't want that, they don't want a strong woman. What man who's worth anything doesn't want a strong woman in their life? Okay. So that, I would almost turn that into one of your screener questions. So if someone is like, you're a strong woman, you know what? I can't handle that. Okay, next. Like there's a huge crop of men out there that want nothing but a strong woman. And it's possible that between your current places of where, and I think I remember your question about just going out and meeting people, if I'm not mistaken, because I answered this within the past week. Changing up and mixing up how you're meeting people, pulling yourself out of the places that aren't working anymore, and really refreshing that list and just putting yourself in situations that you find fun and exciting, and maybe things you probably wouldn't normally do under any other circumstance, but you're in it for the fun and you're in it for the excitement and just relinquishing all expectations. So doesn't want a strong woman. That's nonsense. Yeah, we need to find you a new crop of guys. So actually 2 videos from now, I've got some more stuff coming out about, I'm just making a note about that. More places. Taking notes on the live, guys. This is good stuff. Okay, so Victoria, thanks for being on the live stream tonight. Good to see you. Let's see. Ooh, okay, this is Jen Altimos that we spoke about earlier. Ryan, thank you. We were together for 6.5 years. Then he decided to break up with me through text message. Then he left me to find out through Facebook that he had a new girlfriend. Oh, Jen, I'm sorry. Oh, that's terrible. Broke up with you through text message. Got a video about that one too. Never do that. Never do that unless you don't feel safe around the other person and you just want to, or they did something terrible to you and you just don't care. Otherwise, give them the proper deference and break up face to face. Jen, I'm sorry. That's terrible. Haley. I missed Haley's question. Let's see. Melissa Quinn met guy 2 weeks ago, went for drinks first week, lunch last week. Text every day. Sometimes I initiate, sometimes he does. Get along, make each other laugh, but he won't make more plans. What do I do? Just did some video content on this. The first thing is, in this beginning stage of like the first few dates, neither of you guys have much invested in each other, especially leading into the first date. This is why guys commonly flake, because there's just no investment. They don't know you. They haven't met you. You're just, an online profile, if we're talking about online dating, or maybe they met you in passing and got your number real quick, but there never was any time for like a real connection. So that's cool that you guys had drinks the first week, and then it was kicked down to like a lunch thing. My whole thing with this initial period of dates is never initiate texts with a man. Never initiate texts with a man in those beginning first few dates. The guy should be and this is how you guys can screen so many duds out of your life, men or women, okay? Let them pursue you. First of all, when it comes to men, traditionally, they deep down on our primitive level, they want to pursue you. Like caveman days, they want to get you and club you and bring you back to the cave. That's how it has always been. And the thing is, when we get excited about someone, we want to over communicate. We want to send texts and initiate. Oh, I feel like I need to do something. He took me out. I would just say lean back. Lean back. Him taking you out on one date, it didn't put him out. After that first date, don't text him that you had a great time. No. Let him get back to you and say, oh, I had a great time. I had a great time with you, Melissa. We should do it again. And then all you're doing is logistics at this point. He is giving you a date and you are confirming the time, the when and where. That's it. That's all you're doing. And in that process, it really isn't taking a lot of effort on your part. So you don't have to worry about, oh, did I text him in time? He just texted me. Did I wait? It's not about like gaming things. This is about you being your priority. Guy, he's great. Okay, maybe he gets back to me. Maybe he doesn't. But the thing is, you have other things in your life that you're focused on. And the guy, he's a distant second. He's a distant second until, and not before, but until he has made it incredibly known to you that he is worth your time. He is consistent in his behavior. He's going to stick around and he's not going to bolt on you. He's not going to go MIA and you're going to be like, where is this guy for 2 weeks? He's got to prove himself to you. And secretly, deep down, if he's looking for that type of relationship, that guy at some point is going to find you. And it's going to be the easiest thing in the world for you to manage, because you're just leaning back, you're showing up for dates, you're present, you're having a great time, and then maybe calls, maybe texts, maybe doesn't. I'm just doing me. So really there is kind of a selfish sort of outlook, because we don't want to be catering to other people, especially in the very beginning, because that commitment, that investment isn't there. That's something that grows gradually over time. So if he won't make more plans, this thing may have run its course, and now it's just on to the next. So, and if he gets back to you down the road, you decide, oh, we'll do that. We'll try this again, or not. So yeah, just lean back. Well, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. I really want to thank each and every one of you for showing up tonight. I think we're gonna do this more. If you think that's a good idea, let me know in the thread here. And we've just got some really cool stuff coming up. over the next few weeks, the next few months. Um, so I'm just really excited where we are with everything, and I appreciate you all sticking with me for this long. But for now, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening, your Thursday morning, maybe for some of you, depending on where you are in the world. And I bid you adieu. Have a great night, guys. Thank you.